Good morning. I guess afternoon, East Coast time. 9:20 Pacific. I always start this time of year. My Mariners won. Randy Arozarena he led the game off with the home run and then he had a walk off. And he robbed a home run. If you didn't see that, great game. They beat the Cubs 2 in a row. If anybody been watching this for a long time, I'm a huge Mariners fan. They break my heart every year, right? The only team never to make the World Series, but best team they've ever had, hands down. But Cal Raleigh and Julio have to start, hitting better. But all right, Gulfstream Park, race one. We'll call the first race, then we'll jump through it. So great day yesterday. I appreciate you all if you follow. I mean, that was incredible. It was a lot of chalk, but that's what we thought, and we talked about that. And I think there's a chalk later. Single comes in race 7. We'll talk about that. The scratches kind of decimated this group. It totally changed the race. I don't like it. I do like the turf pick 3 today as a play and the late pick 3. They both paid good yesterday. I think they can pay again. You play the pick 5, pick 6 too. We'll go through that. I think that the singles, it's chalk, but I think this horse wins in race 7. In the first. So let's dive in and then we'll go through this card. Again, we'll try to do each race about 2 to 3 minutes. I appreciate you all. Oh, yeah, capture the equine. I mean, the scratches like decimated, it changed the race a little bit, but I think speed still dominates here. You have Willing one on the lead with speed. I believe Miguel Vasquez rides, yes. And then you have leading rider Diego Herrera back in town. He's riding over at Del Mar. Good for him. Went back to the West Coast, but he dominated and wins here by 2 over Sammy Camacho. The 2 of them are going to be in the battle. I don't think Vasquez can catch them. The 6 set the pace on the race sim, Noble Prince. I went 4-3-6. I don't have huge preference here. If you're playing early, I'll go, so do what you want here. We'll come back to race 1 here in about 30 seconds. I thought this was 7 or 1 if narrow. The 7 is potential single. They're on the grass. Sammy Camacho second win is only 2 behind Diego. I mean, that's a big win percent. I don't know what to do with 6-7 Brew because it's top GSR, so the horse might run. It has a good win percent. And the 1 right away on the rail, if this horse can get the lead, it might be dangerous at a price. Jet Fuel is second time out. So it's combat top main special weight on the grass, but I can see wanting to single the 7. If we look at the probables out of race 1, I always love doing this. It's a great way to see where the money is. So the favorite here is the 3, but for the most part, the money is on the 3, 4, 3. This can't be right, y'all. Hold on. So, the 7. Yeah, the 7. Sorry, 6-1, 6-1, 8-1. So, the 7 is a for sure potential single in race 2. The 1 at a price, right? The 5 is taking a little bit of money in the doubles pool, right? And then the 2 is like a long shot, but the 7 might be a single in race 2 for sure. Just looking at the doubles, it's a great way. It's honestly any better. Look at the will pays, look at the probables. It's a great way to see where the money is, right? Because this game's too tough. So the 7 Tialoo might be a single, just too fast on the grass with Sammy aboard. They're loading in race 1, so we'll jump back. But look, almost wins by 3 lengths. It's all pace make the race. The 1 was my top pick in race 3 if playing early. We'll talk through race 4 and 5 when we come back and go through race 2 and 3, but they're loading. So we'll call this first race and then we'll go through the rest. So again, the scratches kind of decimated it and changed it a little bit, but I originally thought the 3 and 4 both had a shot with the speed scratching. The 7, we got 1 more to load. The 3 and the 4, you have Matt riding the 4 and Diego Herrera leading rider riding the 3. Then a gate day off. You see speed from the middle. It looks like Willing 1, but their speed down on the rail looks like Kazuza. And I know they're not going, it looks like, too fast, but the Kazuza going to get to the lead, and you have William One running in second. Down in the rail, Surfer's Joy sitting right off the speed in third, and then out 3 wide. Friolento, Noble Prince way in the back, but up front they went 24 and 4. You have Kazuza on the lead at a big price, sitting right off Willing One in second, and down on the rail, Diego Herrera riding Surfer's Joy. Back in fourth, Friolento, and way in the back, Noble Prince. Going to be tough to close from there. Making move, Willing One outside at 5-2 on the early speed. Diego Herrera and Surfer's Joy dropping all the way back to fourth and running up into third. Friolento at a nice price. Up front, you have Kazuza at 15-1. Willing One about to take the lead, it looks like. And then out 3 wide, you have Friolento, who's trying to make a run at 6-1. But up front, Willing One takes over. Kazuza at a price drops all the way back, looks like into third. Willing One drifts out a little bit, but up by about half a length. And Mr. Miguel Vasquez tries to take off, but to the far outside, Friolento at a big, nice 6-1 price, going to take over. Willing One trying to battle inside, but Friolento at a price wins it in the first as 6-1. Willing One going to run second. Third, Surfer's Joy, and looks like Kazuza hangs on for fourth, and Noble Prince doesn't run. All right, back to it. Get a little bit of a price in the early pick 5. So race 2, we talked briefly. The 7 going to take a lot of action. You know, in the doubles pool, we look there. This horse is taking a lot of money. TLO going to be speed on the grass. Sammy Camacho rides for Heather Smollian. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It really does, you all. I mean, the one might be able to break. If the one can get to the lead, it might run. It's a young group. Baby's always tough, but Lou has experience. And then you have the first or 6-7 Brew, who I don't know a lot to do with. But comes 7-1-2-5 on the race. I don't think the 3 and 6 fit. But you look at Lou. If you're an e-user, you can see my notes down here. So anytime there's a yellow orange dot, I cover Gulfstream. So predominantly, we'll cover Fairgrounds when it comes back. But has been racing at this level, has speed, gets to the lead for the first time. Sammy might just run them off their feet. Again, he only 2 wins behind Diego. So, yeah, great day yesterday. Diego was out of town, but Diego back. But they added blinkers, right? She might go and be gone right away on the rail. Mubarak, if this horse can get to the lead, might be gone. So about 7-1. If you're kind of spreading 5-2. But you might get through if you're going to play the pick 4 is 7-1. Race 3, up front, Boots on the Moon might sit the trip. That's where I went on top in race 3. There's some speed here, right? From you can see with the pace figure, but you have Denver's Alley, who's going to show speed up front, and Bad Gal Party down inside also going to show speed. So they're going to be sprinting 5.5 on the Topita. Denver's Alley, I almost put this horse on top, but I also went to Boots on the Moon, might sit the trip from 5.5. Bad Girl Party has speed. Denver's Alley might just be too fast. Lucy's Cookie at a price could try to sit the trip, but you see on the race sim comes 5-1. Free to roam, I think, is too cheap, but one might be a single too, but this is, I thought, a tougher race in race 2. So I was 1-5-6-3. Race 4. So there is a ton of speed in this turf sprint. Not surprising, 5 furlongs. I mean, Zolene going to be in a tough spot. The 7 might actually be able to sit off the pace with all this speed, but the 1, 4, 5, 6, all are probably going. Zolene is a tough post and it's a tough trip. I think the 5's cheap. I don't think this horse can do much with the speed, but I do worry a little bit that Zolene could get caught wide, could get kind of in a pace stool. I thought that the 7 might sit the trip, the 3 might sit the trip, or even the 1 or 2 to sit the trip. So I turf sprint. if I was picking one horse, I'd take the 7 that might sit the trip. I think it backs up, but this is a tough one. So we'll play the turf pick 3 here. The key will come in the second leg in race 7. So I would probably play a little bit of narrow stuff. I'll drop my sheet after this. I play it like people call it like a pyramid, and I play a saver ticket because the key's gonna be a single in race 7, but I place them with a little bit of coverage here and in the last race in race 9. But 7-3-1 if narrow, and then again if spreading maybe 6-2-4. The 6 is not vulnerable favorite, but I don't really like this horse, even though it wins the race. So it does scare me. It does have a strong GSR. I'm probably, you override for D'Angelo. I mean, they come back. I mean, you'll see how competitive this is. I mean, likely probably needs the lead, but so what's going to happen here? I mean, Cash Machine needs the lead. This horse looked cheap, though. Like Bennett, Santos, going to be sending as apprentice 0 for 20 at the meet. Uncaptured Dove has run her best races, stocking the trip at 6 for Dave Fox and Sammy Camacho. I mean, Sammy riding outstanding, might just sit the trip, so I would definitely play some, more tickets, in the turf pick 3, because the 7 could sit off all of this speed. Breezy Z might need the lead down on the inside, but could sit a trip for Yates and Miguel Vasquez. Frida is kind of an interesting long shot. Castro owner trainer claim. I mean, this source, like, do they take back? I'm not sure what the plan is here, but in a wacky race, and then tied with the bull, you got Diego Herrera at a good price and strong GSR, and has run really great races. So it's a super competitive turf sprint. With 7-3-1 if narrow, and then again, I don't love the 6, but I would use in at least one ticket, and 2 and 4 at a price. Let's keep rolling. Okay, so if you're playing, we got mandatory pick 6 tomorrow, so always a play. If it gets hit today, maybe change my mind, but there's free money tomorrow on the pick 6. I played yesterday. We had 5 of the last 6 races. We have winners, so you hit it. We got a price finally at last. It was very chalky. I think I paid $350, but if narrow 8-7, and that might be the play. If you're spreading, there's like a bunch. So here's the thing. The 9, Edwin Gonzalez didn't make it back into town. Diego rides. The 9 plus post is over 56 going back to January of 25. It's brutal, you guys. It's so brutal on the Gulfstream Park main track to win from the 9 post out. You have to have speed. Edwin was going to ride for Carlos David. Leading rider Diego Herrera rides. So, it's a firster. But you look, the 8 Dilly Dally has Pedro Pena, kid out riding outstanding as an apprentice, 17%. Kudos to him for Brady. This horse fits. It's dropping. Hasn't been on the lead. Is Pedro going to send? Heck yeah, he's sending. And you get back to the main track and you get a 14-point pace advantage. I mean, this horse could run them off their feet. It's not a great post either, but it's not as worse as 9 post. It's not. So, and has speed. You got to have speed from out here. You just have to. So the thing is, you watch the race, the 7 romps. Well, this horse makes Bodacious Queen make all sorts of sense. So you all have been in this game longer than I have. Pedro Monterey Jr., this guy hasn't rode. He came back. This is his 4th mount. They didn't ride since 2019. I don't even know who this guy is. But he shows up, mount 4. This horse is on the drop. It has not been on the lead. So are they sending their 100% forward lead place? So that's probably the planner. But this horse hasn't shown great speed versus tougher, but gonna set a really good trip on the drop 0 for 8. So you look and it's like, whoops. What do you do here? It's a rough group. 8, 7 speed on the main track. I think one of them could win the race pretty easily. If you don't like the 7, who win? The 8 win, right? I always tell people to do that with the race sim. So if you're spreading, right, then you're having to add all those other horses in the race sim. 1, 3, Papa's Cookies, a firster. This horse working well. And I'm chill, like, but I'm probably 8-7 here. I might play the pick 5. I don't know. I probably just play the turf pick 3 over the pick 6 today. Would be the plan probably. But I probably play 2 tickets, one narrow. It's going to be cheaper. 7-8 will, because our single going to come later. So we only, and then if I play 2, maybe spread. I don't know. I don't always play 2 tickets. Sometimes it bites me. So race 6, all the money can be on the Sappy runner. I mean, I get it. She romp last out. Miss T Bobo got strongest GSR. There's a lot of speed. Gervin Star, and then you got Dominant Diva, who's the other Sappy. All the money can be on the 2. The E more 9 doesn't love it. The win percent show is wide open, and Golden Valley sit the trip. I just agree with the race sim. But try to visualize it. You got a 2 that's going to be on the rail down inside. He's going to take all this action. How good is she? She's probably good. I mean, don't get me wrong. She burned some money in a couple races for stuff, but then came back and rump finally for Sappy off the layoff. Second off the layoff. She looks fit. She had Palmetto. She's probably fit, ready to roll, but it's so tough to come and win back off her main. I just thought it was too competitive. The other Sappy going to be on the leading rider Diego Rare rides. I mean, going to be aggressive. So, Sappy going to have one, I guess, Sweet City's taking back and going to try to rate, stock off the pace. You got the 2 down on the rail who's going to try to do the same thing, but fits here. I mean, still protected for De La Cerda. Mav rides, highly capable, has dominated at 6 furlongs. It's a competitive allowance group. It's tough for me to trust Sweet City. So not a single, and then it comes very competitive. I don't know, vulnerable, maybe. I mean, I guess watch the action. The morning line doesn't like and think the race is way more open. And the Miss T Bobo is the Sano runner. Hard to get here, but it's going to be a price. So it would use as a Scotty long shot for sure. Then pick 5 and or pick 4. Race 7 becomes the single. So a little bit similar yesterday, right? Is heavy chalk. But I just think that Catalonia's 3-year-old filly for D'Angelo sprinting, I think she's just way better than this group. I really do. It's a little bit the same as Justina yesterday for Sappy. In a race like this, it is a turf sprint, and I thought Justina was way more of a lock, right, than yesterday than here. But I do think she's just better than this group. She won the race sim. She's 52%. She's the top pick. She has a really strong GSR, and the only other GSR you have is Adios Tootsie. Adios Tootsie, though, is getting from the main track to the turf for the first time. It's always hard to do something for the first time. A lot of people believe in that. It's true. It's so hard for the first time. And, I mean, doesn't she want the main? Doesn't she want the dirt? And, I mean, doesn't she want to go long? I mean, why is Yates not sent her long yet? And now she in for a claim, a homebred for Shady Brook. She gonna show speed, yeah, for Morelos. But I mean, this is not. I don't. Is something wrong? She working well? Like, why are we not going long on the main track here? But we're sprinting again. A play against for me, but I get people like her. She's a nice horse, but I think get her the main track, take her 2 turns. But she's going to have speed, but got to be Madison, need the lead. Pedro painting right for Coy, sending. They're sending. He's got one plan. He going. And I think Catalonia just sit the trip. I don't think she needs the lead. She's shown the ability. I mean, look at this, you all. I mean, she's been racing versus way tougher. So last summer at this time, she broke her maiden at the Royal Palm meet like we are now a year ago, almost to the day, off a weekend. She broke it on the lead. Then Jose said, let's go to Kentucky Downs. Great. Is she going to go there next? Probably, because she's going to win this race. He probably sending her on the same plan. And then he sent her up to the Big A, which we now know will no longer be there. So we'll be at Belmont. But I don't know what his plan will be. But then look, ran her back at Gulfstream at the championship meet, and she ran really well, was on the rail in both these efforts. I mean, probably not. I didn't get a chance to watch them, but not just the greatest. Like it can be tough there. You got to work out trip. But this group is so much easier. 8-point drop in strength of race. Best bet of the day. She looked fit, ready to roll. Been working on the main track and now brings her back here on the turf. And you look, I mean, she bred all day for turf or dirt. Like, I think she can sit, she can stalk, and the speed goes with the 5 and the 7, and she set the trip just like the race sim thinks. I like her like I'd be a key would be the single of the day. All right, 2 more. I played late pick 3. I'd key her there. It might pay okay. Because the last 2 races, I didn't think they were very straightforward. So a 30K claimer, it's not this. I'll tell you all. So here's the thing. I appreciate y'all for joining. Equine Edge. The win, we just did a genetic strength rating algorithm. Like it took over a year with Scotty, up to like 100 versions, you all. Was it the biggest overhaul, I would say, of any metric for the system, probably ever. And so the win percent has been going through the same overhaul. You will see occasionally 0% horses. So that this is a new win percent. It's going to be out soon. It's way better, I would say, than historically. So FYI there on that front. I thought this race was between the 4-1-3. If you're adding a price, the 5, I didn't like Red Hat bothered. I think it's cheap speed. I don't see it. And the 6 needs a lead. They're gonna be booking it. the 1, 3, 4, one of them gonna sit the trip. I don't see this horse being cheap. The E morning line doesn't like it at all. It is right there at the stretch. I always tell people run it. So the only way this horse is if it gets loose. I mean, it is on the lead on the stretch, but this is way. It's taking a big drop. Santos, none. It hasn't been on the lead, but even when it gets the lead, it stops. Its last was at 54 on the main trap at 6. A Laurel, very similar, but backed up. But Red Hat bothered. Lerman, Reyes going to be right there, right? Morelos here going to show forwardly placed. I think has to be near the lead. So the 2 is fast, but I think it's cheap. You look at Roger the Dana. This is where I went on top. Leading rider Diego rides second off the layout for Ramirez. I think it's a great trip. 8-point drop in strength of race. Really strong GSR. Hasn't run in both these efforts, but this is a 12 and 8-point drop in strength of race. And that's massive. 2 to 4 points material. So, the 2 finds a good spot, but I think there's too much people that think there's enough speed that this horse is going to be in a little bit of trouble. And it's not a great breaker. Right? I mean, look in these efforts, bumped, head churned, reluctant to load. I worry that it's just going to rush up, and I don't like. But so I think the pace is going to be kind of wacky. And I think that the 4 could sit the trip, maybe going to be really up front. The 3 can 100% the trip. Gus Swayze for Mara. This horse could sit the trip. And Easy Orb not for Orsino. And we keep talking about Sammy and Diego. They dominate wins draw. 81 for Diego. Sammy was 79. Next closest, Vasquez at 69. So they both looking for a day. 4-1-3 if deep spread 5. Okay, the last, and then I'll let you all go. We got a little bit quicker today. I try to do these. I appreciate y'all joining. Like 2 to 3 minutes a race. We'll crank them through. Then we'll do a recap. I will send out this sheet on X. If you follow, you'll see it. So I mean, this is a rough main claimer. It's why I like the turf pick 3 because I love our key, right? In race 7. And then we already talked race 4 is, I think, a good race. Oh, there's so many horses that are hard to trust in this race. So many. Because but then you look and you're like, okay, what's the pace going to be like? What's the race sim show? Where are we at? I mean, it's a rough maiden claimer group. It really is. At one point I kind of like the 3, but then I'm like, I don't know. There's the pace is the thing. Pace make the race. The picks can it's wacky because the win percents are all wide over. So you're like, okay, it looks fairly wide open. And then it's like, okay, what are we dealing with? A main claimer, 25, 8.5 on the turf. The rails are out 45 feet, gonna favor speed. It's not a big group, so it may not create too much of an issue from a pace perspective. But forwardly placed can help with the rails out because turns are narrow, always gonna favor upfront runners. Look at the rail, right? It's gonna be way out of Gulfstream Park. So, but it's tougher when there's a big field. It's so hard to come from behind. We get 2 scratches, so it's a short group. It's only 7. So you have Sir Guinness, going to show speed, leading rider Diego, rare for Bo Chapman. I'm telling you all these Diego and Sammy probably in for a day. Drops in strength of race. Second off the trainer switch, gets back to the turf, going 8.5. Is raced on the lead back here versus 10 points stronger strength of race. Finally gets out of maiden special weight company, drops to 25K claimer. Go in. I have this horse in second. I mean, it's just Apache 1-6. Like, here's the problem. If this horse gets the lead, it'll be dangerous. Coy, Reyes, makes a lot of sense. Face the 6 and the 1 last out. Face the 2 back here. If you know me, I am not a huge fan of money burners. And money burner being not only they burn money as the favorite, you can, but versus easier. That's my definition of money burner. This horse should win, could win. Yesterday, same thing in the last race, right? You get 11-1 shot. The 5, I got all these cheap pick 6s, $1.60. And we still hit it because I played a saver because I played so many cheapies. And I just don't trust. You really can't. But if you're deep spread, the horse can win. I mean, it's a rough. I like Sir Guinness better than the 3 because the drop and the 8 might just get the lead. And you look when the 3 doesn't get the lead, it can't win. So it's like but the rail's out and there's no pace in this race. There's none. So it's like a big jockey race for me. So you got Diego versus Reyes. Reyes, fine. He fifth and wins. So horse fits, but so hard to trust at a price. And there's speed. So isn't if you're forwardly placed and you can kind of stock and Ray, can't you win? The 2 can win. The 5 can win, the top pick. I mean, Sammy again, man. Barbosa off the claim, looks to be working well. It's hard to say. There's, the source is dropping 6 points in SR, finds an easier group. It's the top pick. I mean, the GSRs help us a little, not much, man. It's so rough. You have Raheem Jassim riding. I mean, never really rides. So it's a rough one to end the card. That's why I like the turf pick 3 because you could play it if I'm narrow, 5, 8, 7, 2. If spread, I'm adding the 3 and 6. The 6, it's such a bomber. I do not like the 1. I just don't see it. But 5, 8, 7, 2 if narrow. I just don't. The 3 horse verse easier. 8's a dropper, the 5's a dropper. They're lightly raced. They have good trainers, good jockeys, right? Barbosa second wins. I mean, that's kind of where I end up going. Diego on the lead for Bo hitting at 23%. And Coy win races, but I just don't know about this one. And then we'll talk about the Marie St. Call runner, a homebred. This horse fits. It's a sky long shot, too. I mean, that's why I added blinkers last out. The genetic strength rating goes up 2 sprints to a route angle. Always good angle. I mean, horse fits. Perez rides. So might show speed. Edgar can be aggressive. You know, they're stretching out, so you might sit the trip. The 2 starve the gun at a price. Pedro Pena rides. The source looks sloppy on paper, and I don't mind that with Pedro in a wide open race. And he might just, you know, has experience, but again, rough, deeper, you know, if you're adding. But I had this horse in 4th. 5-8-7-2, trying to beat the 3-6 at a big price. All right, y'all. We have 30 minutes, so I'm gonna let y'all go. We'll jump back to race 2 just as we close it down. Yeah, see, look, I mean, the 1 taking some action, 2 not taking much, 5 taking no action as a firster. So as we close it down, I thought the 7 might be a single. The 1 was a price long shot and taking a lot of money. Look at that. So Pinion stays. If we look at the probables, you have the 7 into the 5, which makes ours 1-5-6-3 in the next race. I thought the 1 might sit the trip, the 5 taking a lot of action, the 6 not taking much, but the pick 4 might be a play then, you know, or even we talked through. We have the turf pick 3 that starts in race 4. Best bet of the day, if you just joined us, come in race 7, Catalonia for Jose D'Angelo. I think he has a nice sprinter. I think we'll see her here in the fall, in the winter, depending on where she goes. But I just think she's better than this group. Been off the track a little bit. Jose brings her back here, though, to a way easier group, still protected. She's still young at 3. You know, had a little bit of a tough campaign after the maiden win and gets to her easiest spot since then, except for here, right off that win. But that was at Kentucky Downs, man. That's tough. And that'll be back soon. So probably where Jose headed. All right, y'all. Go Mariners. They versed the Cubbies again today. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. Monday mandatory pick 6 tomorrow. So we'll be back. We'll have video. Good luck. Press your opinion. Chat soon.